guys, Tony here from Caveman Props. Well, little tutorial for you today. Is I'm going to attempt to try and build myself a Captain America shield on quite a tight budget. I've seen quite a few people building them from fiberglass and heated plastic. Someone used an old satellite dish, worked really well. I was kind of looking at it and I was just suddenly thought, well, if I can create a dome from EVA foam for a helmet, surely I can create a slightly larger but not quite so deep dome and create the shield. So that's what I've done. So working with a single sheet of EVA floor matting, I looked it up because a Captain America shield should be about 26 inches. It can't quite fit 26 inches on one sheet, so I've had to bring it down to 22 inches and scale it within that. So what I've done is I've marked out a nice big circle as best I can onto a sheet of the EVA foam, and then marked out the middles. Basically what I've done, if you haven't got a big set of compasses, what I did was obviously find the middle from the corners, and then I used a piece of ribbon and a pen, got my measurements out and draw it. It's not quite precise, but you'll get, you know, a reasonably good circle and mark everything out. So that's what I did. I cut out the outside, and that gives me my basic shield here. I've cut it out, obviously marked all these lines. So what I'm going to do, by heating the EVA foam, I should be able to get a nice sort of bend in it, and by bending it all the way around, should hopefully create a nice curvature to this. And that's what we're going to do. But what I'm going to do is, before I heat it, I'm going to take my scalpel and I'm going to mark these lines in with just a slight, just cutting into the surface of the EVA foam. Because when I heat it, the surface pores all close up and they will open up to create the grooves in the shield. So we're going to do that, and obviously I'm going to put something on the back for holding the shield on. So this is as far as we are at the moment. So I'm going to put the grooves in around this, try and heat it up and see how well I can get the curvature in it, so it's not just a flat piece of EVA. So we're going to work from there and get on with that. Guys, as with most things, nothing is as easy as it first appears. I've heated the piece of EVA foam and was trying several different ways, bending it all the way around. Unfortunately, due to cold temperatures and whatever, it's trying to get it to stay hot while you're doing it was proving a little bit difficult. I'd heated it, I was using my knee, working it round over my knee, trying to get the curvature in it. Wasn't quite right. It kind of had the curvature but was kind of dominant more on one side, so it was more of a bend. And then I had an idea. Obviously I've created the domes for helmets by pushing the piece of EVA foam into a bowl with holes in it, pushes all the air out and forces it into more of the big dome. So I had to work what I had. Had a sort of round washing basket. So I heated the piece of EVA foam. Because it's quite a large piece, it's very hard to heat when you're using a handheld heat gun. Managed to get it hot, took quite a while, nice and warm. Turned it upside down on the thing, and then put a large weight of a drinks bottle on the top, and that kind of pushed it down a little bit, brought the sides up. I kind of worked the sides to try and stop it because some of them were folding a little bit. And as you can see, I've kind of got a dome in it. It is kind of a little bit more dominant, but that's where I hold it. So if I move it around like that, hold it, it still bends that way. So once it's sitting this way up, it kind of has the bend in it that I'm kind of after. Not quite as much, but it's just enough to get there. Obviously there's going to be some bits on the inside here for me to hold. That's going to add some support to it and make it a little bit more there. And obviously where I've heated it up and cut these bits, they've opened up a little bit. You can't really see them, but once it comes to being painted, it'll be a lot more noticeable. So that's where we're up to now. I'm going to take this back into the workshop, and I'm going to coat this in a latex, couple of coats of latex over the top, just to really seal it in, and then we'll start with some painting. In the last section of the video I said that I was going to take the shield and coat it in latex. Actually I was wrong, because I completely forgotten about the star detail in the middle. So I cut myself out a template on paper and then transferred this over to some 5mm EVA foam, cut that out, Then for the detailing in the middle of the star, I used my ruler, a fresh scalpel blade, very carefully, very slowly, scored out all the lines in the middle of this, making sure I didn't cut all the way through, just very on the surface. Go very slowly, because what happens is you get all the way round and you get to the last little bit and you mess it up. So very carefully then, and then what I did was I stuck that onto the shield and then very gently applied the heat gun, and of course all those bits open up and add in the detailing in there, so it looks quite good there on the shield now. So we're going to take the shield, I'm going to take this now and it can be coated in the latex and then get ready for painting. Right then guys, I'm not sure how well this is going to work, I'm not sure how far I can get this under the camera for you to be able to see, but we're coming to the coating. What I've done is I've changed my mind again from what I've just previously said, because I set myself the task of doing this on a budget. Rather than using the latex, I'm going to be using some PVA. It's going to work just as well, because hopefully I'm not going to be banging the shield about too much. It's not going to take too much wear. I'm just going to be having it on the arm or on display on the wall. So I'm going to be using simple PVA glue to seal it. It will do, it's just quite so robust. So we're just going to coat this in PVA. It'll take a little while. I've not really used PVA on anything quite so big before, but you know, bang for your buck, as they say. The PVA will work quite nicely. So it'll probably take a couple of coats and take a little bit longer to finish off, but we'll get it all coated and see what it looks like. Just excuse the mess because I've got a lot going on at the moment. Why the shield is being coated ready for painting, I decided I'm going to try and do the inside bits and work on the handle. To do this I'm going to use a piece of large dowel wood. I have these laying around because they're quite handy to have. If you've seen me do builds before, I use them for sometimes the sword handles, they work quite well. So always handy, but you can pick them up for quite a long piece for a couple of quid from a hardware store. So what I'm going to do is I'll cut this down to right size. It's going to fit my hand. There's going to be the handle on the inside for me to hold. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it in a piece of fake leather I have here. So I'm just going to glue that up and then roll it up, and then that's going to be the handle on the inside, and the bits off the side will then obviously attach to the shield, and that will be like almost like a free floating handle. Once I've got my hand in there, will hold it quite tight. I've also cut another piece of the leather. This one is literally just going to be folded over to be glued, and then that's going to be glued on the inside to be the bit for the forearm to hold it more in place. So I'm going to get these bits sorted and see if we can attach them. Two bits have been completed, so I've got this one with the wooden dowel in the middle, and this one's just going to be the plain strap. No stitching with this. The super glue works brilliantly on this fake leather, so it saves time and effort. Obviously just be careful with your fingers because it does intend to set almost straight away. So we've got these now, so these need to now be attached to the inside of the shield. What I've done is I've worked it out where the handle's going to go first. I'm not sure how well you can see that, so I've marked off the lines. It's going to go in there. I've gone over this with a piece of sandpaper because obviously this side is a little bit more sealed, so I've scratched that, and then I've used a scalpel and just cut some lines into that, and basically that's just to help the glue settle a little bit. So I'm going to put that one in there, this one will then go in there, and then the handle will come up for me to hold. So get these in. This should be nice and simple again. I'm just going to be layering a nice bit of glue on. I'm going to get this right. I want to put the seam on the back so it's not really seen that much, although the back's not going to be seen. and then that's going to be glued in there. See what I mean about the fingers? Just have to be careful. See, once that's in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another couple of bits of leather and just put them over the top of that, just for belt and braces. So I'm going to do this bottom one, and then obviously get the strap in on the opposite side. Okay then, once I'd managed to get the handles and straps on the back of the shield, and the front had been finished coated, it took about 3 coats of the PVA. It was then time to painting. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what I did, and then tell you what I should have done. What I did was I sprayed the shield silver first. This is obviously thinking because in the film and the cartoons it's supposed to be silver, and then the colours were added to it. It then meant I had to mask off the middle section bit and the star and spray that blue, and then I had to try and mask the other red bits off and spray them. It turned out to be very difficult. What I should have done halfway through this, I suddenly realised what I should have done was I should have just sprayed the shield red to begin with. Then I could have just masked off the middle section, sprayed it blue, then sprayed the red. Sorry, I already sprayed the red. Once I've done the blue, I can just mask up the central bit off and the ring, and sprayed the silver. So the silver would have been the last coat. So I should have done red, blue, and silver, whereas I did silver, blue, and red. And doing it the way I did it took a lot of time, a lot of masking, and the other way would have probably been a lot better. But we got there in the end, and the shield was finished, and I think that kind of looks really good. And as you can see, I've got the handles on the back. Get my hand in there. That holds on quite nicely, and then I can bring the shield round. The star sits up nicely as I'm holding it like that. Got a nice little bit of shine to it as well, and I think for a cosplay item on a budget that works pretty well. If I had to put a price on this, I'd probably say, because everything I have all the leather straps and everything laying around. I had the EVA, but to put a price on particular materials, I had all the paint as well because they're from different projects. I'd probably say I spent somewhere between about £5 and £10 on this, so it's actually quite a cheap build. It was literally just the main sheet of EVA and then just the strapping bits on the back. Obviously I've done swords and other bits where I've had to use this leather strapping before, so I already have it in stock, so it wasn't something I had to specifically go out and buy. But if you get into prop making and you start buying these things, you'll have it in and you'll realise that you'll spend a lot on your first few props, but when it comes to another prop you'll have all the bits to begin with, and it makes it a lot cheaper. So there we have it. I managed to build a Captain America shield very cheaply and on quite a tight budget, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please like, please subscribe. You can check out other tutorials on our YouTube channel. You can also check out our Facebook page. I put items on there. I sometimes do commissions, so I always put a picture on there of stuff that we've built. So there we go. Please like, please subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial.